West Ham's sudden orbit around Fabio Vieira reads like a late window plot twist. What began as another name on a list has snapped into sharper focus because Arsenal, according to insiders, are actively looking to move the playmaker on. The story is simple enough to state but messy in its consequences. A talented 25-year-old who lit up Portugal on loan at Porto, but who never nailed down a regular defining role in North London, is now back at the centre of a transfer chess match. For supporters on both sides, the question lands with equal parts curiosity and urgency. Why now, and what would this mean for either club? Look back at last season and the explanation for the interest becomes clear. Vieira's loan spell in Portugal was more than a confidence boost. It was a showcase. Across domestic and European matches, he found the final third with a regularity Arsenal hoped to unlock when they signed him, contributing goals and assists at Porto and showing the kind of creative instincts that make midfielders valuable in the market. Those numbers, involvement in decisive final third actions, respectable shot and pass metrics in the Liga Portugal, are why his name hasn't been forgotten. Clubs hunting for creativity see a player who can unlock tight defences and add a spark in advanced areas. From Arsenal's point of view, the calculus is more pragmatic than romantic. With investment elsewhere and a manager committed to a specific midfield blueprint, pieces that don't fit become candidates for move. Multiple outlets, tracking squad reshuffles and the club's summer plans, have reported that Arsenal are keen to rebalance the roster, freeing wages and making room for profiles that better match Mikel Arteta's patterns. If Vieira is surplus to that blueprint, then a sale makes both balance sheet sense and footballing sense for Arsenal's short-term objectives, sharpen the squad and back the players Arteta trusts to execute the system. Why would West Ham even bid on a player who hasn't nailed down a Premier League spot? Graham Potter's midfield project is the simple answer. Potter has been linked with multiple midfield alternatives as he looks to reshape the engine room. Scouts and local reporters have suggested Vieira is on West Ham's radar. Not necessarily as the only target, but as a creative option who could thrive if used in the right role. Some insiders point out that Potter might prefer a more all-action presence, which is why any move would depend on whether Vieira would be guaranteed a position that maximizes his attacking instincts rather than demands box-to-box coverage. There's also the human side to this. For Vieira, a move isn't just a transfer fee or a statistic, it's a career reset. He's at the age where minutes and form matter more than patience. Back at Porto, he looked alive on the ball, confident in tight spaces and willing to attempt the pass that unlocks a defence. In the Premier League, he never found the same foothold. The game's tempo and tactical demands exposed some limits. The smart bet for the player is a club that uses him where he can thrive, granted time, trust, and a tactical role built around his creative strengths. That's the exact pitch West Ham would need to sell him on a move. So what happens next? Expect whispers to harden into offers, with Arsenal seeking the best combination of fee and squad clarity, while West Ham, and maybe other suitors, weigh whether Vieira truly Numbers will dominate the headlines. A price tag, wage terms, and whether Porto will try to make a counter-offer. But the undercurrent is tactical. Does Potter believe he can convert Vieira's Porto form into Premier League production? And will Arteta decide that trimming a creative, but not pivotal, squad piece is worth the potential reward elsewhere? In the end, this transfer talk is about more than one player's destination. It's about two clubs juggling identity and resources. Sell the right player and Arsenal sharpen, recruit the right piece and West Ham evolve. For football fans, this window is always a test of vision, timing and nerve. Watch the next few days. Who makes the first decisive call could change the shape of London's midfields this season. And for Vieira, it could be the defining move that finally unlocks the potential that scouts first spotted. Expect drama, expect rapid negotiation, and expect a transfer story that refuses to feel routine.